What is going on, YouTube? And welcome back to my channel, JoJo Speaks. Thank you all so much for joining myself and Dustin for this being our review for 90 Day Fiance Before the 90 Days. This is season 8 and episode 9. Dustin, how are you doing today?
I'm doing okay. It's been an interesting day, but that's okay. We had some things popping off. Savannah Guthrie's mom is missing, so let's keep her family in prayers and stuff like that. So I would hate to be in the situation that she's in. So everybody needs to keep them family in prayers. And I posted some videos because I I'm very passionate about finding her mother. So hope they find her soon. Hopefully they find her safely. And thank you everybody. So everybody,
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep everybody up to date on that part.
Absolutely. I definitely saw your post on Facebook and also the post that you sent me. So yeah,
Hmm.
thank you for keeping us abreast of that situation. A couple things I want y'all to do before we get started. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. Press that white button below my video. It is free and easy to do. Takes less than a second to mash that thing. So go ahead and mash it for a brother, won't you? Also, be sure to leave a thumbs up for this video. Let me know you're enjoying the content that I'm putting out on my channel. Also, be sure to leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on the various couples that we're discussing on tonight's review. And also be sure to press the notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. And last but not least, be sure to share JoJo Speaks with all your family, friends, and loved ones. Let everybody know JoJo Speaks is out here in these YouTube streets. I got a couple of announcements before we get into this review. First off, Prophetic Fire Reiki, my sister Jennifer, she will not be going live tonight. Today actually happens to be Jennifer and Tyrone's anniversary. So they wanted to celebrate their anniversary and not worry about having to get on this internet on tonight. So don't be looking out for Prophetic Fire Reiki tonight for Getting Back to Me. That will not be taking place on tonight, the 2nd of February 2026. Also, be sure to be on the lookout for my reviews on the Real Housewives of
Hmm.
Potomac finale. The exclusive interview with Karen took place, and so I watched that episode earlier today. So I'll be putting out my review for that tomorrow, as well as my review for Married to Medicine, the new episode. I'll be putting my reviews out for those as well. I'm thinking about combining the videos, but I probably will just make them separate, just so we don't confuse the two. But anyways, let's get into this episode
Hmm.
of 90 Day Fiance Before the 90 Days. Let's start out with Laura and Beer Khan. So Laura and Beer Khan didn't have much on this particular episode besides the fact that Beer Khan revealed to Laura that he might have a gambling addiction. Now, Beer Khan tells the producers after they ask him if he does have an addiction to gambling, he says no, he doesn't have an addiction. But this is worrisome, very worrisome to Laura. As I've stated in previous reviews, I think Laura is a very mature woman. That's not speaking about her age. I'm just meaning the way that she goes about life. She seems to make very mature decisions, although some might consider her getting into a relationship with someone from another country not being so mature. But, anyways, Laura seems to be a very mature person in her decision making. And so I
Hmm.
have a feeling that this is going to cause Laura, even though she may not leave Beer Con in this particular season, I have a feeling that she's not going to continue her relationship with Beer Khan going forward. Now, I will have to say, I enjoyed the fact that we saw Beer Khan in the bed without his shirt on. I see that he has a very hairy chest. Like
Yeah.
that is something that I enjoy seeing on men. It's not a prerequisite. You don't have to have a hairy chest to get with William Joe Nathan Lee. However, that did perk up my eyes. I was like, oh, that looks nice to see a hairy chest. I don't know. That's just me. But anyways, so this does cause very much concern for Laura. And once again, I have a feeling that all of these things that she's finding out about Beer Khan is going to lead her into not being with Beer Khan by the end of this season, or maybe not even by the time that we get to the tell all. She doesn't necessarily share these concerns with Beer Khan, face to face. Like, she doesn't tell him how much this is worrying her, but I'm sure she's going to get to that eventually. So, Dustin, how do you think this revelation from Beer Khan to Laura about his gambling problem is going to affect their relationship going forward? Do you think they'll be able to
I don't think
survive
there's gonna be
this?
one. I don't think there's gonna be one. I think she's gonna cut. I think she's gonna. I think she's gonna basically end things, and I hope she does because nobody deserves to be uh, left in the dark about the situation like that.
Hmm.
I don't like it. I don't think she likes it either. So That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think that this bodes well for BeerCon. I still can't get a good gauge on whether he's actually authentically romantically interested in Laura. I have a
Mhm.
feeling that he just wants to be a sugar baby and he wants her to be his sugar mama. I don't see much chemistry between them. I don't see not even like a friendship between them. I'm seeing this more of like a mother-son relationship rather than partner and partner relationship.
Right.
And for me, that's uncomfortable to watch.
And
For
maybe
me,
I'm gonna say one more thing, Jonathan. According to that,
go ahead.
you need to get some help because I know sometimes it can be a serious, serious thing. Gambling can be a serious thing. So I do believe that the people that have that issue, people that have that issue, need to get some help. And I hope he does get some help because I don't think that's a good situation to be in.
Absolutely. Lady Virgo down in the comments says, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Lady Virgo. And Lady Virgo, just so you know, Prophetic Fire Ricky's not going live tonight. So Jennifer's taking the night off because tonight is her and Tyrone's anniversary. Yes, I do hope that BearCon does get help. And I do think that Laura would have the resources to be able to get him the help that he needs. And I hope that he takes that seriously. And I think that Laura can kind of explain to him how much of an issue that could be. Lady Virgo says down there in the comments to JoJo Speaks and Dustin Butler, hey, you handsome fellas. Hello to you too, Lady Virgo.
Thank
So
you,
glad
Lady
that you're in the
Girl.
comments with us. Love you for watching, girl. Love you for watching. So
Thank you
yeah,
for being here.
I think Laura would be the best person because she's such a mature woman to help Beer Khan in his addiction, well, what seems to be an addiction to gambling, because we all know that gambling can actually be an addiction if you let it get that far. So
Uh,
let's move on to Anna Lynn and Jovan. So the way that like Anna Lynn is probably would have to be my least favorite participant on this season of 90
yeah,
Day
I don't like.
Fiance.
I don't like her.
There is no
Not
I
one.
don't like her either, Dustin. There is no getting through to her. And when Jovan is trying to explain to her, the things that you're saying that bring me down, saying that I'm not romantic, saying that I'm not trying hard enough, saying that, that I'm not the perfect husband or I'm the most unromantic person that you've ever met. I understand why Jovan is bringing up to her all the things that he is doing for her because Anna Lynn does not seem to acknowledge any of the good things that Jovan does. Like, just as Jovan said, all the only things that are coming out of your mouth are the negative things that you feel about me. Lady Virgo says down in the comments, okay, so cool. Congrats to you both. Prophetic Fire and Unveil Vibrations. Yes, congrats to Jennifer and Tyrone. I believe they've been married for 13 years, but don't quote me on that. Don't quote
That's
me
a
on
long
that. But
time.
yeah. I think it might be longer than that. Hell, I don't know. But anyways, let's not get into that particular subject. But yeah, um, Anna Lynn there seems to be no way to really please Anna Lynn, and I think Anna Lynn constantly looks for things to pick at Jovan at. And there are some people out there, not just women, but men out there as well, that will just constantly nag at people for the things that they're doing wrong, never acknowledging the right things that they are doing in the relationship. And Jovan seems to not have done really anything wrong besides the fact that he was entertaining a female that he used to be interested in. And he told Anna Lynn that he would not be in contact with her anymore. So in the last episode, when she got the proof that he was no longer in contact with her, now she's got to look for other things to nag at. And I don't understand those type of people whatsoever. And when Jovan is trying to say, I'll try to do better, I'll try to be romantic, what are you going to try to do? And Anna Lynn completely avoids that entire question, or that request rather, altogether. And she's not taking accountability. Anna Lynn does not take accountability in this episode of the things that she's doing to bring Jovan down in this relationship. Once again, she's picking at him. She keeps picking at him. And then what she does to get the kind of heat off of her is she makes it a comedic moment, saying that it looks like he's constipated all the time. And the way that he kind of complains about things, it's like,
Mm-hmm.
I see Jovan as such a pure, gentle, loving man. And for him
Mm-hmm.
to be in a relationship with a woman like Anna Lynn makes me feel so bad for Jovan. And Jovan deserves a woman who will appreciate the things that he brings into the relationship, appreciate the effort that he puts in, appreciate the money that he's giving her every single month, where she seems to
Right.
be so unappreciative of everything that Jovan is doing for him. So I
Mm-hmm.
really want Jovan to leave Anna Lynn because she obviously does not appreciate him. And I really don't understand the connection that Jovan has with Anna Lynn. Like, it does not make any type of sense to me whatsoever. Dustin, what are your thoughts on the way that Anna Lynn has been treating Jovan? And do you think that this relationship is going to work? I'm hoping that it doesn't work, but I have a feeling that Jovan is just going to go along for the ride, maybe just to
Mm-hmm.
stay on the show. I don't know. What do you think, Dustin?
I don't think it's gonna work. I hope I'm right because I can't stand the way I can't stand the way that she treats him on the camera, and I would hate to see how it really is behind closed doors. I don't want to see that because I think it's worse behind closed doors. I don't know if I ever know how bad it is, but I can feel it, Johnson. This is only the top that we're allowed to see, but I think it's way worse than it actually is being portrayed on TV. You know, for her to say them kind of comments about him looking like the way he does. That's a body shaming to me, and I don't
Mm-hmm.
like that. That is body shaming, as you know, Jonathan. I hope you know that, but that's the way I look at things, and I don't like her. I don't can't stand her. I can't stand her.
Yeah, I didn't necessarily consider it as body shaming, but I do definitely see where you're coming from with that observation.
Right.
She was basically saying that he looks constipated. That's the verbiage that
Mm-hmm.
she was using. But just like his posture, she was making fun of his posture and the way that he walks
Yeah.
around. And to me, that's like that's so childish to me. It's
Well, the
so
reason why
childish to me. Which on a
the,
then seem
mm,
go ahead,
the
Dustin.
the reason why I say that is because I have scoliosis. So as everybody if everybody
Okay,
thinks everybody thinks it's a way of looking at things. I don't like to have this situation myself either. As you know, Jonathan, you know more
right,
about it than anybody else. So as you know, I don't like to be in this situation, but here I am. That's why
right, yeah.
I'm planning to have back surgery and hip surgery in the future. And
Mm-hmm.
everybody will find everybody will know now because I will now to hear. I've been having some major back pain in the past couple of weeks and the past several
Okay.
months. So as well as everybody, I will be having some health things in the future.
Gotcha. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing that with us as the audience, Dustin. We appreciate your vulnerability in that moment. But yeah, I hated the way that Annalyn was talking about the way that he walks around, the way that he, holds himself. Like for me, that's so petty. And for me, that's nothing to bring up about someone else. Like I understand
Mm-hmm.
her trying to make it a comedic moment, trying to, kind of make fun of him in that way.
Mm, yeah.
But for me, that's unacceptable. For me, that's unacceptable. That's just the way that Jovan walks around. That's just the way that he is. Like he can't do
Mm-hmm.
anything about that. And for you to point that out as a negative in the way that he presents himself, for me, I don't understand why Anna Lynn is with Jovan besides just getting his money every month. Like
Mm-hmm.
for me, I don't think Anna Lynn truly cares or loves Jovan. I really don't think that she does. And I
That's
feel
that
as
is
though
that is very sickening to me. Very,
mhm,
that's the way that it changes the way I think of her. You know, that's the point that I don't like. And for TLC to have her on TV like that and say that like that, and don't cut it out, that's a red flag to me. That's sad, and that's pretty sickening to me.
well, the production is going to show what they want to show. So, I don't blame them for showing that because that's just who Annalyn is. And I actually
Yeah.
appreciate them showing that because it shows us as the viewer who she is at her core. Either
Right.
that or that's what she's showing to the camera. But either way,
Correct.
she feels free enough to act that way on camera. That only
Mm-hmm.
leads me to believe that's who she is in real life.
That's a red flag to me. So that's why I said that. It's a red flag to me.
Absolutely, it definitely is a red flag, and that's the reason why she's my least favorite participant on this season of 90 Day Fiance. I don't like Anna Lynn whatsoever, and Javon deserves better. I don't know if Javon is watching this right now, but Javon, you deserve a woman who's going to appreciate you for what you bring to the table, appreciate you for the amount of time that you spend at work to send her money, and she doesn't appreciate that. She doesn't deserve you, and Javon is doing all that he can do to make Anna Lynn happy, and nothing is ever going to be good enough for Anna Lynn in any way, shape, or form. And I would hope that at the tell-all, the other women would tell her about herself. I don't expect to see that because a lot of times the women kind of gang up on the men in these tell-alls. But I would hope that the women could see that and tell Anna Lynn about herself because she needs a reality check. And for her to see it from a female's point of view, I think it would be a better chance of her taking it seriously. Not to say that I think that will cause her to change, because I don't expect to see Anna Lynn to change whatsoever. I just hope at the end of the day.
She's not the type of person that would put me in the mind of changing her own. That's just the way she is.
She's not to me either, Dustin. I don't see that happening for Anna Lynn, but I just wish that a woman would tell Anna Lynn how to treat her man in a better way so that he does not constantly have all these issues with her, and you don't give him the chance to put up in your face that he's doing this, and that to you, for you. And the reason why he has to bring those things up is that you don't show appreciation for it. Oh, Anna Lynn just pisses me off. But anyways, let's move on to the next couple before I lose my mind over Anna Lynn.
Again. Yeah, before we go crazy.
Let's get to Ziad and Emma before I have to take some nerve pills for Anna Lynn. So Ziad and Emma, they're coming back from their meeting with Ziad's good friends, and they were having an argument about Emma being disrespectful towards Ziad, for Emma being a little bit unhinged in a way. The word that Dr. Heavenly was using about Simone in the most recent episode. And Ziad is telling Emma, just go to bed. And Emma's like, well, you don't think that's disrespectful towards me, the way that you're acting towards me right now? You don't think? And Emma is grinding my last good nerve. I have to say that Emma's probably my second least favorite in this season of 90 Day Fiance. But anyway, so the two go to bed, and then they wake up the next morning, and Emma shares with us as the viewers that the night before, Ziad came into her room, they started making out, and they finally had sex. And then Emma makes it her point to say that Ziad has an average size male member. She said, you can fit it in your hand. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, that was disrespectful for Emma to do. I think that was very insensitive for her to say, because for me as a man, I know how much pride is put behind the size of one's male member, and for her to talk down on Ziad in that way, it's not the way that she said it, but if you're not going to say that that the male member is a certain size, but if you're not going to say that it's big, then don't say it at all. Don't say anything about it. If you're not going to say that, oh, it was the best that I ever had, for me as a viewer watching, I don't want to hear you, especially if I like the man that you're with, and I do like Ziad, and I do think that he's probably the most handsome man on this season of 90 Day Fiance. For her to say that about his male member, I didn't appreciate her putting that out there. No, she didn't say it in a way to demean him, but I just took it that way because it sounds as though she's saying that she wasn't satisfied, even though she said it wasn't bad, like it was fine, but for her to say it was just fine, for me, I felt like there was a little bit of disrespect behind that, but that's just me. And Lady Virgo says agreed down here in the comments. Thank you so much for your comments, Lady Virgo. Keep them coming, girl. But anyways, so there wasn't much that went on with Ziad and Emma. He cooked for her. He said this was the first time that he's ever cooked for one of his girlfriends. So Ziad is putting in the work for his woman, which I can appreciate. I love seeing a man doing well for his woman. However, I don't feel as though Emma deserves that. And also I want to mention here Emma, the way that Emma's talking about what Ziad is doing for her, oh, that's so sweet. You're so romantic. I've never been treated this way. And it sounds so fake to me. Like Emma comes off as extremely fake to me, much like Stacey and Darcy, but in a different way. But at the same point, Emma just comes off as extremely fake to me. And it causes me to not be able to like her. And I
Right.
hate that because initially in the season, I wanted to like Emma. I really wanted to give Emma a try. But these things that she's doing to Ziad and the way that she's talking to Ziad, in not only in the bad moments, but even in the good moments, it's just irritating to me to no end. Dustin, what was your thoughts on the whole argument that went on with Ziad and Emma? And then the next morning, Emma telling us, the viewers, that she and Ziad finally had sex and, him cooking for Emma. What were your thoughts on their entire segment this episode?
I didn't know. I didn't. I have to agree with you. She's my second one, but I don't really like this
Yeah.
season.
Hmm.
I listened to it, but not fully because I can't. I don't really. I don't really like this couple so far,
Hmm.
and I don't think it's going to change. But yeah, I think what she's doing to him is not very good in my opinion. She's not very nice. For saying that the word that you said earlier, and I think that that's not meant for reality TV to me. It doesn't. That shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter what size is.
Hmm.
As it doesn't matter to me. As it just matters to me that he gets treated
Right.
well. He gets treated well. He should get treated well just like everybody else. And and she's not treating him too good. So that's just my opinion. But I don't like her. Mm-mm.
Right. Yeah. The way she was talking about his male member, for me, it sounded like slight shade towards him. Like, he's not that big and it wasn't the best that I ever had. Like, come on now. If you're going to talk about your sexual experience on national television, I feel as though, especially if you're in a loving, committed relationship, even if it wasn't the best you ever had, I'd say to the camera it was the best that I ever had, especially if I love this man. I'm going to prop him up on the highest of pedestals for everyone to see.
Mm-hmm.
But
Me
uh,
too. Me
but
too.
again, that's just who Emma is, and I don't like her. I don't like her at all
Mm-mm.
whatsoever. Don't like Emma, whatever
Yeah.
whatsoever. But I stand for Ziad for sure. I think he's a very handsome man. I think that he puts up with Emma's BS when he really doesn't have to. And anyways, I hope that I don't want to say that I hope that he took offense to how she described his male member, but I would just hope that so that he leaves her. But I don't think that Ziad's going to leave Emma. Even when she tells him that she was engaged at the time that they were still together, I don't think that's going to be enough for him to leave Emma. I think he loves her
Mm.
more than the wrong that she's done to him. But
Yeah.
anyways, let's move on to Daniel and Lisa, our second last couple to speak on this episode. So Lisa's having issues with her wig. She says that the glue is sticking to her head. It's really uncomfortable. She wants her hair to breathe, and she needs a break from this wig. She doesn't know how Daniel is going to react when he sees her without her wig. But she's got to be free from this wig. If she feels like it's confining to her head, it's really uncomfortable for her. And I get that. Like, wearing a wig all the time can never be comfortable for anyone. So I understand Lisa's plight in this moment. And so
Right.
Lisa comes downstairs at the hotel that they're staying at, and the look on Daniel's face, we can all tell as the viewers that Daniel is not happy to see Lisa outside of their room without her wig on. I don't think Daniel minds it when there's just the two of them together and they're maybe in their room and not outside, maybe in the general public. I think Daniel wants Lisa to be in her wig anytime that they are outside of their room. Anytime that they are not amongst other people. I think that's the only time that Daniel wants Lisa to not wear her wig. And when Lisa says that, I had to take it off because it was bothering me and the glue was sticking to my head. And, I just wanted to feel better. And Daniel obviously and clearly does not like seeing that. And he also says something that I said in one of our earlier reviews on this season, that Lisa does look older. She looks more her age when she doesn't have her wig on. And I agree with that. And I think Daniel wants Lisa to look her best when they're out and about, when they're amongst his friends, when they're just mainly just really in the general public. He wants Lisa to be wearing her wig because it makes her look younger. It makes her look a little bit, maybe a little bit more attractive. I will admit that. Even me just saying that as a gay man, I can still tell whether a woman is attractive or not, or at least I think I can. And so Lisa is very disappointed in the way that Daniel is acting towards her now that she has her wig off. And Daniel keeps telling Lisa, I want you to wear your wigs when you're meeting my friends, because later on in the episode, they actually meet three of Daniel's good friends. And so yeah, yeah, that's an interesting conversation. And so then Daniel introduces Lisa to his three friends. She does have her wig on when she meets his friends, and Lisa is trying to get some dirt on Daniel. Now, Daniel's friends are speaking very highly about Daniel, saying that, Lisa is his angel. He does this, 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 and that for him. He was a poor man before she met him, and Lisa wants to know if Daniel is a man about town, if he's very popular with the ladies. And Daniel's friends don't necessarily give a straight answer, or rather, don't give Lisa the answer that she's looking for. And then Lisa
Mhm.
reveals to us as the audience that she was contacted by an American woman saying that she had talked to Daniel recently, or previously rather, and basically stated that Daniel was a scammer.
Mhm.
Um, I was do I believe that? I don't know if I believe that necessarily just yet. Now, the way
Mhm.
that Daniel has been interacting with Lisa would lead us to believe, just on the surface, that Daniel is romantically interested in Lisa and doesn't have any underlying intent or intentions concerning Lisa, and maybe just think that he just wants to get to America and wants to live a better, more profitable life. On the surface, we don't think that. Do I want to believe that Daniel is only with Lisa for her money? I guess so. Sure. Who knows? I honestly don't care why Daniel is with Lisa, just to be truthfully honest with you guys. Because it's uncomfortable for me to see them together, just for me as a person to see them together. Because when I see couples, I like to see couples who look like they go together. And that's not to say that, I don't think black and white to go together or big and small don't go together. But for me, Daniel and Lisa don't look like a couple to me. Just like, in my opinion, Laura and Beer don't necessarily look like a couple that goes together for me. But that's just for me. That's just my personal opinion. And as far as the aesthetic that I like to see in couples. But
Mhm.
Lisa's not happy with the answers that she's getting from Daniel's friends. Now, do I think that Daniel's friends are covering up for Daniel? I definitely do believe that. But I think that Lisa is looking for something specific that she's not getting. And I don't think that she's going to get that specific thing out of Daniel at all. And
Mhm.
the thing is, we don't know what it is that she's looking for. Now, we did see in the preview for the next episode that she does contact this woman from America who did contact her previously. She does contact this woman again to get some type of answers out of her. So we'll see in the next episode exactly what she's getting to. I think she's trying to get to the fact that she thinks that Daniel might be a scammer. But if we want to be truthful about it, Lisa has been scamming Daniel this entire time, not telling her the entire truth about her past. So I don't know why Lisa feels as though she has all this chutzpah and all these balls behind her when she's been lying to Daniel this entire time. But anyways,
Mhm.
Dustin, what are your thoughts on Daniel and Lisa's segment on this episode?
I think you know. I think you know where I'm going to go with this. I
Mm,
don't. I don't. I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it because I think it's. I think TLC is basically doing this for the storyline. Um, I think that. I think that Daniel is not a scammer. But
mm,
until I improve until I improve a different way, then this is the way I'm going to look at it. But
yeah,
I think TLC is going to see they're getting further into the season. We're going on next week will be episode 10. So I think that they're just pushing this through the storyline for the rest of the season. But I think we're going to find some things out to tell all, what I hope we do. But honestly, I don't know what's gonna. I don't think that Daniel and Lisa are meant to be together. I don't think they're gonna be together for the long haul. Mm-mm.
right. I,
And
I
and
I
who
do. I do agree with
Because
you, Dustin. I don't think that Daniel is a scammer.
Mhm.
But I don't know if he's genuinely interested in Lisa romantically. Like I that does not computing in my brain. Like the math ain't mathing in my brain as far as that is concerned. Like it's hard for me to believe that Daniel would be interested in Lisa. Like it's really
Mhm.
hard. Like I don't see what Daniel would see in Lisa. And that's not to say that Lisa is undesirable. Just for me, I don't see how Lisa could be desirable to Daniel. But hey, I'm probably wrong. Who knows? I could be wrong. But it is what it is. But I don't see Daniel and Lisa working out in the end. Oh, and also I failed to mention that Lisa did reveal to her daughter that Daniel proposed to her as soon as she got to Nigeria. And also, Lisa's daughter also brought up the fact that she knows nothing about Daniel's romantic past either. And so I don't know if we'll get into that a little bit later on. I don't know if Daniel's going to be truthful about his past with women. Who knows? I don't necessarily care myself personally, but
I
I
don't
guess for
either.
the sake of the show, we'll see whether we'll get there or not. But let's get
Yeah.
on to our final couple, Rick and Trisha. So
Mhm.
we finally got to the point. Now Rick rented out this space in this area that they are currently in. I forgot the actual location that they're in, but they're not in Madagascar anymore. They're in a different, I guess, a different island of some
Mhm.
sort. And so he's rented out this nice place. It looks really, really beautiful. And for Rick to be saying like, he can't afford all the things that Trisha wants him to do for her. That's really interesting to me when he's able to have the funds to rent out this place. But anyways, so Rick gets these outfits for himself and Trisha, saying that he wants to do a bit of playing. I guess Trisha's outfit is supposed to make her look like Tarzan's Jane, and I guess Rick is sort of kind of dressing like Tarzan. But anyways, and so then they get to the point to where Trisha thinks that it's kind of stupid for her to put on this outfit, which I would agree. If that's not your thing, I understand that she really wouldn't get his whole thing with the whole dressing up type of thing. So anyways, then we get to the point where Rick is like, okay, well, we're about to meet Trisha's family, and I have to reveal to Trisha what I did with an ex in Colombia. So
Mhm.
Rick reveals to Trisha that he went to Colombia, and he keeps saying these 5 days that he was not hearing from Trisha. And in that time span of 5 days, he made the decision to contact his ex, buy a plane ticket, get accommodations in Colombia, and make the trip to Colombia and come back within 5 days. Like for me, that story does not make any
It
sense
don't
to me
matter.
whatsoever
It,
for
it
it to
don't it
be.
don't it don't make it don't make no sense to me, and it doesn't really matter because at the end of the day, he cheated on her.
Right. He
Mhm.
allegedly cheated on her because
Yeah,
at this point, Dustin, I choose not to believe that this story is true.
I don't
Um,
either.
I First of all, I find it hard to believe. Um, I don't want to say that. Anyways, I just don't believe it that is true that he
Mhm.
cheated on Trisha. Or if he did cheat on Trisha, I don't believe that he went through the process in 5 days of
Yeah.
contacting his ex girlfriend in Colombia, booking the flight to Colombia, getting over to Colombia, doing the deed in Colombia, and coming back within enough time for his entire story to make sense. It makes no sense to me whatsoever. So I personally don't believe it to be true. But anyways, Rick says that the way that Trisha was acting towards him made him believe that she didn't want to be with him anymore, which to
Mhm.
me is a sorry excuse for cheating on her because unless you actually get confirmation from Trisha directly that she no longer wants to be with you, you just cheat off of her, you just cheat on her off of an assumption that she does not want to be with you anymore. It doesn't make sense to me at all. It makes no sense whatsoever.
Yeah.
Which further leads me to believe that it's not true. But of course, Trisha reacts the exact same way that I expected her to react. She is devastated by this. She doesn't want to talk to Rick. She doesn't want him to touch her. She doesn't want anything to do with Rick whatsoever. And even in their confessionals, Trisha is saying that she doesn't know how she's going to move forward with Rick and how she's going to introduce him to her family after finding this out. Of course, Rick is trying to apologize, trying to make excuses like, I didn't think you wanted to be with me anymore, and which I think is such the sorriest, lamest excuse that any man or woman could use to defend them cheating on a significant other. I don't think that's reason enough. Unless you get confirmation that they don't want to be with you, um, then don't make that decision to cheat. I don't think cheating is right in any circumstance because you're literally in a relationship with someone else and you have to have that communication. And before you cheat on someone, just break it off, just leave them. But, that's my whole thing. Dustin, how did you think that Trisha took this? And do you believe this story at all?
I believe I believe that the best thing for them to do is not to be together. But I don't think it. I don't think that he's happy, Jonathan. I don't think that he's really happy to be with her, to be honest. And I don't see it working out for him, to be honest. And I hope that they find their happiness with two different people because I don't want to have to live. I wouldn't want to have to live the rest of my life with somebody. Have to be living on eggshells all the time, walking on eggshells all the time. If I was in a relationship with somebody, I would not want to have to do that. And I feel like if this continues on, if this relationship continues on, I feel like they will always have to be walking on eggshells, the both of them, because it's really opening my eyes to me. It's very opening, and I don't think that they're gonna they're gonna make the rest of both of them are gonna make the rest of their life miserable if they continue to go on like this.
Yeah, because I'm not necessarily clear on Rick's actual sexuality, because he could be bisexual. He very well could be. I mean, he's got 5 kids. He's been married. Like, I don't think there's any way that he's not attracted. Well, there is a way that he might not be attracted to women in general, but it's just hard for me to grasp him being with Trisha or any woman for that fact. But that's just me. And call me shallow, call me whatever but I'm just telling you what I see as a gay man. But anyways, if he truly, because the thing is, the way that Rick is trying to present himself to us as the viewers is this ultra man's man. And me personally, with his personality and the way that he's presented himself to us, I don't see him in that way. And it's hard for me to see him in that way.
Mm.
But, once again, people could say that's shallow of me to
Well,
say, it is what it
well,
is. But that's just what I
well,
see. Go ahead,
well.
Dustin.
Rick is my favorite, one of my favorite couples on this show. So I don't want to see him hurt, but I don't. I want to see what's best for the both of them, to be honest. But I'm rooting for Rick to be honest with you because I like Rick so far this season, and I don't really don't like Trisha, but that's okay. I want to see what happens between them, and we're going to continue on like we want to do. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, Justin, I love Rick as well. I
Mhm.
do love him. I don't like the way that he's doing his relationship with Trisha or the way that he's trying
Mhm.
to present their relationship to us as the viewers because it seems extremely inauthentic, especially this whole story about him cheating on Trisha. I don't believe it to be true because it makes no sense whatsoever to me.
Right.
And when people come to reality shows with fakeness and with untruths, it makes me not want to watch you. Like, I
Right.
love Rick. I love his personality. I love the way that he presents himself to us as the viewers. I love all of that. But the way that he is going about his relationship with Trisha is a complete turnoff for me. And I just don't like watching it because if this is not true, then you're putting Trisha through this trauma for no reason, just for the camera's sake. And I can't respect that whatsoever. I really can't. I love Rick. I think has a great personality and I think he's perfect for television and perfect for 90 Day
Right.
Fiance. But I would love for him to be more truthful in his storytelling. And
I
that's
would.
just my opinion. So that's all we got for this episode, the 9th episode. Dustin, why don't you go ahead and give the people your social media contacts before we get out of here?
My social media contacts are Dustin Butler 700, and my Facebook is Dustin Butler. I want to thank Jonathan for always being here, and my whole entire team. And shout out to Tyrone and Jennifer. Have a have a have a have a good have the good rest of your uh,
Anniversary?
anniversary. Sorry about
Yeah.
that, Jonathan. I was trying to think about the word.
It's
But
okay, Dustin.
have a good anniversary, and hope everything hope everything goes well for you the rest of it today.
Absolutely. You guys can follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is JoJo_speaks3020. My Facebook is Jonathan Lee. My email is WilliamJonathanLee@gmail.com. My Cash App is $JonathanLee07. That's $JonathanLee07. Once again, Prophetic Fire Reiki will not be going live tonight. So don't be on the lookout for her. She's enjoying her anniversary with Unveiled Vibrations, aka Tyrone. So don't be expected to see Unveiled. Don't be expecting to see Prophetic Fire Reiki tonight. Also, once again, be sure to be on the lookout for my reviews on the Real Housewives of Potomac finale, as well as Married to Medicine tomorrow. I love you guys for watching. Thank you so much. And also, be sure to join me on Thursday night at 8 p.m. for my live Hot Topics and Social Commentary show. We always have a great time, myself, Prophetic Fire Ricky, as well as Bianca Edwards, talking about the latest happenings and goings on in the world. So join me on Thursday night at 8 p.m. And also join us next week, same time, same place, same beautiful faces for our next review on Before the 90 Days. Once again, love you guys for watching. See you on the next one. Bye, guys.
Love you.